All right, people, Mr. Right here with Lesson 8 for the tuba. In this lesson, we're going to be studying what a single eighth note looks like all by itself, and then we're also going to see what an eighth note rest look like. So on the page here, we have a single eighth note all by itself right here, and see this strange looking little flag hanging from it. Well, how do we come up with that? Well, if you take these two eighth notes like we're normally used to seeing, and we slice off that other eighth note right there, that little bar right there kind of droops down to form this little flag looking thing, okay? But it's only a half a beat of sound. Well, if this is supposed to be beat 1, well, that's the first half of the beat. What are we going to do with the second half of the beat? Well, here is an eighth note rest that takes up the second half of the beat. So here's a half a beat of sound, half a beat of silence, followed by beat 2. So this happens really quick. Bump, 2, 3, 4. So it kicks right into beat 2. As soon as you do beat 1, bump, rest, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. See, here's beat 3, and it bounces right into beat 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, this is all of beat 1 right there. So it just happens really fast. Pow, boom, right? So let's try number 1. I do have my metronome set to 90 beats per minute. Ready, and 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And then, number 2, we see these regular eighth notes in groups of 2 like we're used to seeing, except there's an eighth note rest that's coming between them. All right, still got eighth notes, and sometimes you'll see it this way. That's why I've included this in this video, so that you could see that it will still play just this first eighth note on the downbeat, and then we'll play this eighth note rest, or rest during that eighth note rest on the upbeat. So it's bump, rest, bump, rest, bump, rest, bump, rest, dee-dum, 2, 3. So this is another way that you could have written this, or I could have written it, is just quarter notes with staccato dots over them to make them short. But again, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. See, these notes are short, only half a beat of sound, half a beat of silence, half a beat of sound, half a beat of silence. 3, 4. And then when I see this measure right here, there's a bar line right there. It's hard to see it because the stem's kind of covering it up. But what I do is I just look at the whole measure, and I say, I'm going back and forth between the E and the F, middle valve to open, for the whole measure. So in my mind, I just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I know I've done exactly enough notes. All right, so I just kind of read it as a word instead of every last little, my eyes trying to follow every little note head like that. Then in this measure, we've got this little eighth note rest. So we're going to go bump, through and 3, 4 in. So it's bump, rest, 2 and 3, rest, 4 in. And then the same deal that we had up here. So let's try number 2. 1, 2, 3. And then number 3, straight quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You see what happened there? We rested on each downbeat. We played on the upbeat, or the second half of the beat. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we hit these downbeats again, just they take up the whole beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and. Let me move my mouse again. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I did that slower. And notice right here, we're resting for a beat and a half before you come on the end of 3. So it's 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. So it's on the, this is beat 3, the downbeat of 3, and here's the upbeat of 3. And the same thing happens over here, just to practice that. So let's try number 3. And a 1, 2, and a 1, 2, 3. You heard me kind of crescendo there at the end, just to make it kind of musical, you know. Then number 4, right here, I'm showing you the counting now, all right? So 1 and, right here, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and. Again, you're going to play this 8th note on the and of 3. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and. Let me move my mouse again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. As I'm playing this measure, I'm saying, oh, I'm playing straight 8th notes back and forth. The first half the measure, they always write so that you can see, like right up here, you can see the middle of the measure. So it makes it easier to digest the measure. 1 and 2 and. So the first half of the measure, I'm doing straight 8th notes back and forth. Then I rest on the downbeat of 3. Play on the and of 3, rest on the downbeat of 4, play on the and. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, like that. Then right here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So let's try number 4. 1, 2, 3. Then number 5 starts off 1, 2. This is a low open B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4. See that? 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, 1. So let's try number 5. 1, 2, 3. Then number 6. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Right? And as I'm playing each one of these notes to make sure that I can nail it, I use my tongue. I'm going tha, tha. On trumpet and trombone, you go ta, ta, or da, da on trombone. But on tuba, you're basically going tha, tha between the teeth almost, like to make it really super. So that should give you a good idea as to how to conquer Lesson 8 for the tuba.